Seeing a lot of players come over, like the Gears team, it's very interesting. I believe they're going to do really good. I feel like they bring a whole new like element to playing video games that a lot of these like Halo players aren't used to. Like kind of like a cracked like hit your shots type. I feel like Halo players are usually more like positioning based and stuff. So it brings a lot more different like elements to like how Halo is going to be played. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of like weird games. No one like really played the game on LAN yet, so like you don't know how people are going to play. You don't know how the game's going to play. I think it's going to be like a very, very good tournament. You're going to see a lot of like game 5s, down to the wire, reverse sweeps. It's going to be crazy.
Crazy stuff across the board from a lot of our players. Robert, I want to ask you, obviously with this leaderboard in mind, what do players managing to really clutch up their kills do for teams, especially when trying to swing a series?
I think players like Renegade, they just make every kill they need to in the right order, right? They're looking at the entire map and they're not thinking about their kill death. They're not thinking about their kill total. Like Clutch said, they're thinking about how do I open this map up for my team so we can run over the opponent and do everything we want. Taking a look here, of course, Lucid going to be a player to watch on the side of Optic for sure.
He really is indeed. Of course, Lucid right now, arguably the best player in the game that has been tossed around, and rightfully so. He has been a showcase of what you can do with the sandbox, what you can do on the maps, the movement, the speed, the super slides we're seeing from this guy, the jumps, all sorts of things that he's able to use in his arsenal that's really kind of pushing him and his team forward. And I've got to say, this will be a really interesting battle. How do you think Lucid kind of lines up against Renegade Clutch?
Yeah, I mean, it's two completely different playstyles, but they both provide such essential pieces to their team. They both are going to lead their teams in kills most of the time, but they do it in two different ways. Lucid with the movement and his equipment and everything that he's been able to do with the sandbox is something special. He's playing a different video game. Renegade more so just consistently not missing, consistently being a little bit probably more aggressive than a player like Lucid, but the two play styles, they benefit their teams, and both of their teams play around these two individuals so well.
Yeah, and B is probably one of the more difficult ones to take. If you're going to try to decide if there's a trip cap going on, you don't want to choose B. B is the most central spot on the map of all the strongholds, where people from Cloud9 are going to be able to collapse in and challenge. Instead, you want to go for one of these side caps like C, which is exactly what Pistola does. He's a wizard for a reason.
Yeah, and I got to give big props to Lucid there. Pistola makes the call out. Lucid instantly trades the beat down. They get the double kill cleanup. Now they're staying on the move. Pistola, though, caught by 3 players on his left, and what a rotation from Cloud9. They felt it. They push out. They make sure they have control, and they continue to score up and over 84 points. Their opponent still held in the 20s, as this has been dominant in the last minute and a half.
Yeah, Cloud9 just seem to be in such control. They seem to know Optic's moves before they make them. In fact, I want to hear how they're calling this out. So let's go to Astro listening with Cloud9.
Yeah, help him, he's arcade.
Right here. Still arcade.
He's trippy. Hey, watch out arcade, guys. I'm one shot.
Nice. Two. It's a 20.
Trippy was front.
Okay, yeah, he's bottom.
Bottom tower, weak sand, watch out courtyard, bottom tower. He's behind the pole, bottom tower. Nice. Watch out, BD. Solo capping. B and C, guys.
Okay, I'm one shot.
We need rockets.
Penguin on your screen, though, you said this is the new addition to the squad. Is he your OBJ? Is he your support? Are you looking at him to be a main slay?
Oh man, he can do it all like everyone can at this top level. But if you had to classify him, he's more of one of those all-rounders. He's going to be doing more objective, more support. He wants to enable a player like Renegade to get the sniper and go off there and fish it up. And as soon as he goes over there, who's hopping in there? Renegade, one of the people you do not want to engage in a 1v1 fight with, and he's forced to back down and eventually die. So it goes to show like they are put in some very uncomfortable positions in this game.
You see Lucid working with APG there. They finally cut down Stellar, who is double positive, 14-7. He was on a run there with the power weapons. Now you see it's going in the hands of Penguin as he scoops up the Bulldog. APG trying to finish off these kills, but it's Cloud9 just working too well together. They have each other's back always covered. And again, the trip cap opportunity. A little bit of contest at C as Lucid and Trippy will win that fight. But this is getting dangerous now for Optic. We're in the final 20 points for Cloud9.
Yeah, it's really getting out of control. I mean, just the amount of slaying power we see from this Cloud9 side is just been terrifying. In fact, we have Penguin, the player who has not won a tournament yet, going the most positive, going 16-8, leading this roster. They chose this player for a reason, and he's showing up when they need him the most.
Renegade gave Trippy the business in that BR fight, and that is just the exclamation mark on a game number 1 that Cloud9 needed for all the momentum. 250 to 49 after one more kill, and there it is.
Oh my God, what a stop right there. 250 to 49, like you said, Puckett. And I want to highlight at the very end, that was such a smart position there from Penguin after capturing that B point. There's such confined quarters that, yes, you can maybe roll around the corner with your teammate and stuff, but such a risky maneuver, and that's why it's nice to just have that to help clear out those areas so that you can take them over a bit safer.
You can basically just close off an entire entrance. Look at Optic Gaming, though. We said it was 5 to 10. Now your score 11 to 13. The comeback is in. The player leading the charge, it's going to be Trippy on your screen. Lucid also in the background has been aiding with multiple kills. I've seen him putting in 2 shots and backing away, setting these up. Stellar, though, Mangler in hand, trying to get a little bit sneaky, and he's got players all around him. APG spotted. Here's the gift he was waiting for, though. Thrusting forward, hasn't taken any damage yet. Perfect grenade, should be able to finish this, and it will. APG there to clean this one up, but the damage has already been done.
Yeah, damage has been done. We saw how Stellar broke behind the enemy lines and did not just shoot the very first person that he saw. He wanted to get more information and then start. And as soon as he saw APG, or I should say Ola there, running down towards that second pillar, he realized now is the go time. You don't want to get too greedy. You don't want to say, all right, I'm going to wait until I see a third person or wait till I get something else. He knew that that full side on Rocket side was cleared out. So he wants to start doing damage and creating panic and opportunities for his teammates to collapse in the center of the map.
And you recognize the timing. He did it. He did it while Rockets were coming up. This was a team effort, a coordinated effort to secure back-to-back rocket grabs now for Cloud9. Penguin, though, has to launch it before he dies. Earn a mating thing. 20 to 16. Optic still very much in this. They have neutralized the power weapons. Now they've just got to battle for this overshield. It's popping in the next 5.
Yeah, we've seen them make comebacks before. I remember watching on Lucid's timeline where he posted this ridiculous comeback on Bazaar Team Slayer. I want to kind of hear how they're communicating because oddly enough, when I was playing with Hex last night, he was kind of asking me, what does this button do? How do I pilot this vehicle? However, I feel like when we go to these players listening, the comms are going to be a little bit different. So let's go to a Astro listening with our friends over here on Optic Gaming.
Going back to flag. Penguin. Hey, top box hiding. Top box. Nice shot. What's their flag? What's their flag? What's their flag? What's their flag? I'm going double door. I'm going double door. He's gonna go big door. Thrust. They spawned here. All here. Watch out their double door, guys, with that thrust. Under you. Right under you. If you look double door. Double door. He's right under it. Behind me also. They spawned blue behind us. Blue copy. Nice. Be careful. Might die. Blue bridge punching Justin. Blue bridge. Red bridge. Yeah, red tree weak. Matt, Joey. Look where Matt. I'm gonna die. He's on my alley. Yep, he's pushing you. Alright, we got him. I'm looking alley. Just watch. I'm looking alley. I'm looking big door. They're at top rocks, I think. Get together. Pick top. There's BR. Blue BR. Near bridge. I'm looking at one shot. He's one shot from blue. One shot behind you. Look at me, Tommy. I'm looking.
Raleigh, are you enjoying this, Team Slayer? Make some noise as we go down to the wire. It's Optic Gaming with the Rockets.
Getting a little damage there, but not the finish. Each of these rockets are so precious, and I don't need to tell you that, Puckett. You know how important rockets are and how valuable it is to accurately shoot each one of those.
You can take out 3 teammates with one of those things.
But only having 2 here, and especially with this game being down to the wire, those need to count. You can't just be shooting those around, and that was an ineffective use of rockets here from Pistola.
Pistola's going to be kicking himself. He knew he wanted to react, didn't want to waste the rocket or at least hand it over so it could be dealt against his team, but that is a kill they could not give up. The swing is still here, though, as we're going to see Trippy and Lucid get the picks. Trippy around the corner gets out with his life as well.
1 kill game, Puckett. They have just been taking this game in their own hands, and Optic have control of the center of the map. This gives them more angles. They can coordinate their team fights better, and On top of that, they get control of the overshield.
They have the rockets, they've got the overshield, they've got their opponent's pin. 2 players down low. Pistola half shield can't take this fight alone. And they're going to be surging onto APG. Can he survive this? They've got him down low, but they're all weak. They can't take these fights.
Yeah, these players are all stuck down at the Bulldog spawn. And this is not a good spot for Cloud9 to be. They need somebody out, and these are just uncomfortable positions to be in. The Cloud9 go charging up top to top rockets, get the kills, and close out the game.
And let's not forget, as long as Optic gets through CTF Aquarius, we have Live Fire Game 4. Optic Gaming still undefeated on Live Fire.
Ridiculous
then we're
to say
just,
out loud, right?
It is. It's crazy to say. And now, after that, we're just looking at a Game 5 Slayer, which is always a toss-up. Either team can take that. So is it possible? Absolutely. The question is, can Optic do it?
That is the question. They have at least a little bit of a road to get to before they get to their favorite map, and their unbeaten one as well. But we're handing on over to the casters again. Puckett, Walshy. Let's get back into this series. I am way too hyped.
So are we. We are so pumped to get into this one. Before we jump into this game, though, can we give a shout out to the people behind the players on Optic Gaming? Right after that game, Lunchbox goes to the players. Do you have to go to the bathroom? We have to go to the bathroom. Talks to the ref. You take a short breather. You get away from the controller, away from your opponents. You calm down. You talk about what's coming up next.
Yeah, whenever you get an opportunity to take a slight timeout or something like that, you need to do it. And Lunchbox has been on that stage more times than most people out there. And so the fact that he's just like, guys, take a step back, shake it off, and then let's get back into this Aquarius CTF.
Optic Gaming needs to mount the comeback right now. Otherwise, it is Cloud9 heading into our winners bracket finals. Well, they will face off against either E-United or Pioneers. That one currently in game number 4 over on Bravo with E-United leading. But we got to finish this one right here as we head to Aquarius. It is CTF. Is it over? It's time to find out as we open things up once again. One of the OGs, it's Pistola on your screen.
Look at this next level of how this game's already being played. You know, the games I'm playing here on Aquarius CTF, we're all looking top there to challenge that camo. We got Ola and Renegade challenging each other at each other's thrusters.
I'm still on my flag, shooting at the other guy on the enemy's flag here. Meanwhile, the flag is moving in the hands of Trippy, and this side of the map, definitely the preferred route for all of our flag carriers. APG, he's got the camo, and this is going to enable some huge movement for Optic.
You literally can't get any more objective efficient with these flag grabs and runs. They got a couple kills. They're already blocking the spawns, and they got the first flag in. Trippy in the
trying to make the objective play when the opportunity isn't there. Hasn't really been able to score when it comes to the kills. Pistola and crew, though, forced to play extremely heavy defense. And they will get the trade as finally the flag goes home. Stellar is going to get beat down in his base, but neither flag will be moving anytime soon.
Yeah, neither flag moving, but Trippy doing a great job actually pushing over from the util side to push into this Cloud9 flag, but just staying alive, being a nuisance, realizing that he does not have to do it all himself. I was a little curious, though, about Ola being so cautious there. He had camo, just sat in the back there, trying to make sure they got that flag recovery. I don't know if that was a wise play to just ensure that they get the slays and don't let anyone from Cloud9 sneak by, or if he's just being a little too cautious.
Wizard might have some tricks up his sleeve we still don't understand. Eco back on your screen, though, has taken top control here for Cloud9, and that's what you were highlighting earlier. They need to establish this top high ground control. Then you get 1 or 2 players to pinch in with the cover fire. APG gonna get pinched, but Penguin falls, and APG doesn't get finished. So again, I feel like every time I look in this feed, it's Bradley who is getting the key victories to allow Optic to push out. They've had the last 2 camos, Lucid and crew, trying to make sure they get the 3rd as well.
More than a key victory, we're talking about a scenario where APG was getting shot in the back, was absolute one-shot, somehow rolls on through, gets a melee kill, and does not die. Eco was talking about, I was watching a video that the Cloud9 team posted recently, as they say they do like to focus on the superstars of the other teams. They say when they have someone like Frosty down from Sentinels, they're like, their best player is off the map right now. We can do whatever we want. And they do have that mindset saying, there are players that are very pivotal to certain rosters, clearly Lucid being one of those players here on the Optic Gaming roster, and I wouldn't be surprised for them to make sure they're calling out or stressing those callouts a little bit more to make sure that those kills get finished where possible.
I'd fit in on Cloud9 pretty well. I was only gunning for you and Ogre 2 in Big Team Battle last night. I think I went 1 and 47. Here's a look at Renegade, though. If there's going to be a player to put this team back into a power position, it will be him. Need to see the squad start to challenge together, though. You look at these blue dots, always it's just one player alone with no angle for help, and here is Optic on the flank. Lucid gets in, finishes off Penguin. Flag is moving with lots of cover. You got two players top mid, the third is falling right behind you, and there you can see on the other side, Cloud9 can't even look at this flag carrier. He has not taken an ounce of damage yet.
No, but he realized that he has now been spotted. They do not have the top center control that they had before, so Lucid is not just going to panic and run this across right away. Instead, they're going to take this a little slow, try to get some slays, get some damage before run that flag in. But looks like Renegade's going to have to be the hero here. Unfortunately, they're a second too late, and that's going to be the second flag cap going in for guarding your flag is, yes, you have great defensive positions. However, if you die, you do not have a respawn to help be a factor or have a chance to stop that flag run.
You need that safety at the midway point, right?
Yes.
Someone to be that last clutch to stop the flag's movement. 40 seconds remain on the clock here for Cloud9. If they want to keep this game alive, they need to tie up the score here. At least get the flags out of the base.
And that's what Lucid's doing right now. You saw Lucid pushing out of the flag. Make the Cloud9 roster have to slay you twice before they can get that flag cap.
And Lucid wins another one down low. That was on Renegade as Lucid closes in on 30 kills with 12 assists. APG right behind him at 26. And 15 seconds to go. This is Optic's game. They're going to force a game 4 here, Dave.
And look at this, Lucid, like I said, the best defense is a good offense all the way over at the Cloud9 base. However, not pushing it deep enough to make sure that they spawn out. And that's going to be game number 3 going in favor of Optic Gaming. We got a series here, Puckett.
No celebrations yet. They are just soaking this one up, staying focused because the job, well, there's a lot of work still to do, Dave. We're going into game 4 next. That's going to be live fire. We got oddball. But you gotta love the way Optic played that objective. Result from our other winner semifinals, E-United versus Pioneers. And it's E-United. I got my man Burns grinning ear to ear out here in the crowd. He will be seeing his team on the main stage later. But right now, we got our game 4 loading up. It's gonna be oddball on live fire. We'll find out who is moving on to that winners finals to join E-United. Can Cloud9 finish it here, or are we going the distance? Live fire loading up right now.
I think everyone except for the Cloud9 fans want to see this one end here, whereas the rest of this audience, Optic fans, they want to see this go to a game 5.
All right, I like that. Raleigh, North Carolina, are you guys ready to party? It's Optic Gaming, it's Cloud9, it's Halo Infinite, baby. Puckett and Walshy on your microphones. Welcome if you are just joining us. It's Championship Sunday as we narrow down one of the largest tournaments to our top squads, and we're starting off with one of the greatest players in the game. If you don't follow him already, do it right now. He goes by the name of Lucid.
Yep, and here's that passive start that I was telling you about, Puckett, where they'll sit over towards those A sandbags, try to be you need to know the times that you can jump off of the ball while holding it versus just tossing off. And since APG was one shot, says, all right, I'm going to jump and see if I can scrap another second or two, unbeknownst to him that player was going to get finished off.
And here's another camo opportunity. They've had the last 2. Eco not getting away. Penguin, though, in the feed will be one of 3 kills being scored in the moment as half of Optic is down. Oddball being brought in by Cloud9. Trippy is in the garage,
Such a
but he
wise
doesn't see it coming.
rotation. All these members from Cloud9 are pushing towards the garage, and you would think naturally that ball carrier is going to go, all right, I'll take the quickest route to garage. I'm going to go through the tunnel where Trippy was waiting. But Renegade, realizing by deduction that, all right, well, I know the field side's safe. I'm just going to run towards field side.
And that is a 70-56. As Optic Gaming is now within 25 points of forcing a game 5.
This is just getting wild, and here's a time where Optic are fine with trading kills. If they are holding the ball and trading kills and just spawning across the map, they are totally fine with that. However, this is also the dangerous time. They lost these battles. There were 2 members down now at the moment for Optic. If they're able to get this in the garage, that would have been devastating because Cloud9, if they get a full step, they can close out this game.
Nate Shot would be proud of these plays from Lucid. Half of the Cloud9 setup destroyed. APG now will find the 3rd. The 4th is in the corner. Eco gets punished. And Optic Gaming getting some stellar plays from Lucid to open this one up and close game number 4.
I like how they played it. It looks like Lucid was eventually taken down. The good part about that play, though, is you had to draw a bunch of Cloud9 members out into an unideal spot. Look at this. even though Cloud9 got the kills, they're stuck in garage. They're pushing over towards the A stronghold. There's really not very strong positions for them at this moment to like have a strong setup and pick off these players who are just spawning.
Oh my goodness, Lucid and Trippy combining to do so much damage over at B, as you're going to see Penguin getting dropped as well. Cloud9 is in trouble as 3 just went down. Renegade had a little burst earlier, and the man's sitting on 5 kills. So I'll keep my eye on him, as well as Eco, who snags the camo but can't get away with it.
Yeah, you saw Eco have a bit of a hesitancy there, where he wasn't sure if he was spotted, so he said, you know what, rather than go for the back smack and potentially just not even get a trade here, I'm gonna go for the 2-shot melee, guarantee I at least get 1 kill and some subsequent damage.
Here's that Mangler. You saw Heat Wave for Optic, you see Mangler for Optic, you see headshots for Lucid.
Also, the other factor I could consider there as to why I went for that 2-shot beatdown is I'm not sure if Pistola has a back. I don't know if you can actually back smack him. So, in that case, you might as well go for a 2-shot beatdown because the Wizard cannot be assassinated.
2 chest. Love to see it. Ola again in the feed as we talk about him is going to find Stellar. Stellar just getting beat up on. He and Penguin seem to be in the tough position in the afterthought spawn after your teammates all die.
You was just happening to stop some bullets and some grenades is reflecting those back. So Lucid just pulling off the near impossible here during these games, making the most effective use out of the Halo and Sandbox more than any player in the game that I've seen so far.
Best movement in the game? You calling it?
Yeah, best movement in the game right now. You just watch him and his Master Chief moves different.
That's coming from one of the original movement kings. Put that on your Twitter bio. Here's Trippy down low, and he is going to let it loose. 2 players drop shield, make it 3 now, but all of Cloud9 survives. I say it as the grenades come in, and it's APG raining down the fire. He'll be traded, but nice back and forth kills will make sure that the oddball does not move as they battle for control.
Puckett, we've noticed this a couple times already where Cloud9, they're able to acquire the kills like they did over at the B stronghold or there over in the field, but they're in poor positions afterwards. And so even though Optic Gaming might not have as many numbers, they might only have 1 or 2 alive, they just have superior positioning. They can, you know, flush them out outside the cave, or they can finish them off over the B stronghold.
Oh, the panic. I feel it. I feel it for you, Lucid. The sniper rifle, not as easy as it once was. Trippy's going to get rid of this, and the play ball doesn't happen. This is going to be an opportunity for Cloud9 to pull away. The spike almost nudges it off as Lucid is doing everything in his power to keep this ball out of their control, but Penguin surviving for now, and he's got help. With that said, they're both
Optic at least coming ahead in ball time during that trade, whereas Cloud9 has been doing that previously. But they get a play ball, and it's not played for long as Stellar grabs it and brings it back to the garage where Cloud9 feels like it belongs.
And Stellar is going to have most ball time for his squad here, without a doubt. He was the one holding it on C after the intro fight. He is the one who gets them another 10 seconds, brings it within 15 points here in the second one. And this is looking like a fantastic bounce back for Cloud9. If you're just joining us, they're up 2-1 in the series. They could close out Optic Gaming with wins here.
Yep, they're going to need to win these 2 rounds. So on the bottom there, the UI is just a slightly Ignore the dots. We just know right now in this oddball game of the best of 3 in oddball rounds, it's 1-0 for Optic at the moment.
About to be 1-1 unless Pistola can get in. He's alone. APG coming off the spawn. There's a little bit of help, but is help going to get there in time to stop the objective? I don't think so. 2 seconds, 1 second. We're going to Heat 3.
Such a smart spot to be. Penguin knew he was receiving pressure from the garage side, knew that people would be out from the B side over towards the bridge, and just decides to ride it out in that low corner to close out the game.
All right, we go over to Lucid. Our observer feels he has the hot hand, and I'm with the obs. Optic Gaming kind of shut down in that second heat. The kills fairly even. The control, though, was always in favor of Cloud9 when it came. Their opponent needing just 10 points, but Cloud9 has now closed the gap. They are still in it if they can win this next slaying battle. That's 2 kills going in their way. Pistola's down. APG, the last one up, somehow getting away with the objective.
A desperation play there from Optic as they're trying to grab that ball and bring it towards their spawning teammates, but this is just going back and forth with these slays as both teams are battling out here over in front of the garage.
Pistola went for the flank. Did he read it right? He did. Has to clutch up alone. He's not taking much damage here, but there's 3 players closing it. 4. Cloud9 is here, and they're showing up in a big way. Your scoreboard, 84-90. Cloud9 could steal it and close this one out right here.
And Trippy's going for a long flank, but he doesn't know which side it's going to be. Trippy has now been sniffed out, knows that he's over towards garage side, so Renegade's going to run this over towards tower, going to run over into Trippy, who met him up towards top center. This game is neck and neck, Puckett.
91-99. You cannot drop the ball.
Are Optic going to get these 2 seconds? 1 second. That's going to be Optic bringing this to a game 5. Only 1 point away as Cloud9 were panicking, trying to finish off that last point, and we see the crowd on their feet here in HCS Raleigh.
I love this, Puckett. I'm going to let us all just sit and marinate with what we just witnessed. Last Slayer, it was Cloud9 leading early. Optic had the last-minute resurgence. You saw Trippy showing up in a big way. APG and Lucid having nice stats at the end of that game. But they got off to a slow start. I want to see both teams have an equal start here. Let's go back and forth. 52 different lead changes, Dave. I'm here for it.
That's exactly what I want to see as well. And you ask, like, what's going to be the key to victory here? It's so tough to say. One thing I will highlight, though, is we are in Halo Infinite's infancy.
Yes.
We're at the very beginning of this game, so you're still able to get away with certain plays, like the one that Trippy got away with, like in top center, or someone like Lucy or Renegade going on absolute tears and slipping away in scenarios where you might not be able to get away with, like 3 or 4 years into Halo Infinite's future. So I want to see one of these players just step up, take their team to the winners bracket finals by going on a tear. I want to see somebody drop 18, 20 kills.
3 teams remain undefeated in our winners bracket. We've got United waiting in the winners bracket finals. Who will join them? It's time to find out as we load up Recharge for Team Slayer. If you're brand new to Halo, you've been sleeping on it for 20 years, welcome. This is HCS Raleigh. This is our game 5, and we play to 50.
Kicking this one right off the bat, you know these teams are going to try to get any weapon they have at their disposal. Look at that, Lucid knowing the Cloud9
threatening from Optic Gaming. I like the positioning from Stellar. He's got help as well. And I don't think Optic with the lead is going to need to push anytime soon, Dave.
One thing I like that Stellar did now is he got those plasma grenades.
Yep.
When you have like that top area over towards top A or pushing towards control, you want something to help clear that out. And so that grenade just came in handy, as you can see.
That's what they were setting up the whole time. He slips in, picks off APG. The rest of the team surging forward, and they've got Optic trapped down by a sword. Nice shots coming in as Penguin is going to trade out with Ola. Camo, most importantly, is going to be scored, and now this is going to be Cloud9. They've got the invisibility cloak. They've got the Mangler. It's time to maul some faces.
Yeah, and Cloud9 and Penguin are going to be able to make like 1/2 maybe pushes with this camo. With the pace of this game, Penguin's really going to have to break through some sort of setup here and push it with his team, but this is going to be difficult. Lucid already sniffs him out. Not only sniffs him out, gets the repulsor, gets the fish on Penguin. That's such a huge swing.
Penguin can't get it done with the camo Mangler, and that's what Cloud9 had just fought for. All that effort now gone. You got to go back to the basics. Mangler's going to be scooped up by Pistola, but look at Renegade. He is the one who is willing to go to those dangerous positions. He's tried multiple times to sneak through the middle. Once he got away with it, twice he's been punished. And your scoreboard, it is a 7-kill difference as Stellar is cut down by APG. Optic with control. Reversal from APG. Optic needs a little spark here. And that might be it from APG.
Look at how this high-level Halo is played. You notice a player gets a kill, and immediately that's reacted by another teammate. Yep. It's just kill after kill after kill. And you see these players trade out over and over again. It's when the big swings happen is when they're able to acquire that kill or two. Somehow that player stays alive that was initially in that first interaction, and that's where it really snowballs a lead.
Ola's having a tough one. He's been picked off 12 times.
That's an active game. As our old friend Nistic used to say, I was in a lot of fights.
Most numbers, baby.
Most numbers.
Ola looking for some more kills to go with those deaths. Unfortunately, has been picked off by the help from Cloud9. Lucid, he's teaching all of you bronze players how to climb up. Know the jumps, kids.
And some of us Onyx players, I don't use that ledge either just yet, but I will start using it now.
Yeah. I just got back in Onyx. Thanks for the carry, 72 hours if you're watching. Here we go. Lucid on your screen. He has kind of been outgunned in the last few 1v1s I've seen, and that's not something that was happening earlier in the series. Stellar, again, the one on the flank who's going to be able to finish the kill and go for the trade. Eco with 7 assists is able to add to his kill feed, and we're going to see Ola now, the last hope, repulsed off the map by Penguin.
What a play. You saw Ola too. He's been repulsed before, and he was looking down to grab that ledge. He was trying to pull a...
Hasn't been working recently, but you see the 1v1 as Ola is able to find Stellar out in the tunnel. Grenades are the issue, though, as Eco wins the war in yellow.
Yep, if you are in these stale or these stagnant times and you're not getting extra grenades like you see someone like APG getting, you are going to this next battle as a disadvantage. All these players know how and where everything spawns, and they want to make sure they grab this, even in a situation like, oh, look at this late activation. In fact, I wish it was a little later, since especially if you're making this move, but you get a little busted from Ola and not seen somehow. That was wild. I thought for certain Ola was going to sniff that out or see that player, but my guess is Ola is not looking at that position for very long. Instead is focused on that little the little turbine around that at Hydro.
Yeah, might have looked over at a teammate screen, see what else is going on around the world. Ola falls, Eco survives, and Eco still got the sword in hand, hunting down kills as it's Penguin who finds the finish. 7 kills now here for Cloud9. They were down as much as 8, I believe. Now in control by the same number.
And also look at this patience here from the Cloud9 members. They get someone like Ola weak, they're not just charging in right away. That's what Ola wants to bait players in to do. Instead, they're waiting until he makes his next move, or at least wait until they get a second angle. It generally takes a couple players to take down one of these members here from Optic.
Cloud9 in control. Renegade Max.
I mean, we saw Respectful from Na'Vi playing earlier. We might have to be seeing Disrespectful here from Renegade, a.k.a. the Cloud9 team member, just going off, making a statement saying, hey, we won the last major tournament. We're the Halo 5 World Champions. Nothing's changed. 49 kills, that's going to be 50. Penguin closing it out here for Cloud9. Cloud9 making it all the way to the winner's bracket finals, making a statement above Optic Gaming.
We're always giving up for Cloud9. And give it up for my man Renegade, not backing down. He and Stellar playing confident in all of their engagements. It was a difference maker for me here on the final map. The confidence pays off as they get the kills and they get the win, taking control and finishing strong.
Yeah, they were just looking so good, but it got scary there for a minute, Puckett. Going into a Game 5 after up 2-0, especially with like that first commanding victory on Strongholds. It's a scary position to be in, especially against the likes of someone like Optic. But, you know, Optic, they're going to go back to the drawing board. They're going to go into the elimination bracket. Going to have some tough teams down there, but I fully expect this team to make it all the way back into the losers bracket finals and finals. They've just shown their strength, how consistent they are. They can be down in games, still bring it back. They can be down in a series, still bring it back. Cloud9, however, gosh, what a performance.